discussed about working with structural directives. We started learning about it. And in structural directives, first important, we learned about the basic how to use the structural directive ng-if, how to work with the ng-if. So here we are using ng-if. So with a Boolean value, now we can see how to handle this ng-if. According to the requirement, right? That means in several examples also we will see. So the next part is we just learned a basic point about how to deal with the ng-if structural directive. Actually, when we are dealing with ng-if, one more option is, so while working with ng-if, actually conditionally when you are manipulating, so you can assign ng-if to any HTML element. So we can assign ng-if to any HTML element. That is the first basic point. But many times what we need to do is, so in various occasions, in various situations, right? Situations, without disturbing the HTML layout, we have to conditionally display content, conditionally add or remove content, actually add or remove content. So in various situations, without disturbing the HTML layout, we have to conditionally add or remove content. That means the problem is many times when we are handling the situations. For example, suppose I am using OL, I am writing li. Now I am defining here in the li, I am writing an ng-if. Generally what happens is there are some other list items li. Suppose the first list item is removed from DOM. You know that automatically the second one will be at first location. That means, for example, this is 1 and this is 2. And you removed this one, then automatically this second one will change it to 1. It will change to 1. Again, when added, then the second one will change to 2. So it will disturb the complete hierarchy actually. And one more point is, inside this list item, I want to keep the number, just don't want to display the content. Means I want to show, add or remove some content inside that list item. In that situation, suppose in the list item, again if I use a div, and in the div if I write ng if, in the div if I write ng if, that means in a list item, if you are writing again a div or again a span, then again its layout is disturbed. So for example, you are using a table. In a table, one row, one cell you don't want to display. In that cell, again you are using a div, then it is disturbance. Because if you are adding a div, automatically the div style will be applied to it. Then the layout alignment will be changed. The HTML presentation will be disturbed. Then what we need is, we need a container in such a way that it will not affect the HTML layout, but conditionally can show the content and add the content and remove the content. Like for that, actually Angular provides a conditional container, so which you can use to define content dynamically, which you can use to define content dynamically into HTML without disturbing the layout. The Angular container for conditions. The Angular container for conditions is it is called ng template. So ng template is used for conditionally handling the situation. So without disturbing the layout, conditionally handling the situation. For example, so in the last session, so we designed this, and here I click show preview, then it will display the preview, and hide preview, it will hide the preview. Now for that, already yesterday we saw that we are using a template here. Generally we are using a div here, a container here. Now let's go to the elements of this particular. And in the elements, you can see the effect here. In the elements, you can see, in the elements you can see. So we have a if demo, and in that div, and you can see there is another div. You can see there is another div. Inside the div, this if is there. The image is present. I click on show preview, and when I click on show preview, so that means it needs to get the preview, and you can see another div is added, and in the div we are adding an image. So this type of adding divs and spans will again disturb the layout related contents